The same ones from yesterday. We'll just put this into the Aaron Russo interview. Whatever you want.
Okay. Aaron Russo. He moved from California over to Jersey.
Purchase, New York.
Purchase, New York. I thought he was in Jersey.
Rick Moranis is with us.
Hi, Brian.
It's a pleasure to see you
It's
again.
always great to see you.
I have to point something out. I have seen Ron Howard's production of Parenthood, in which you are Nathan. Now, Ron, with great affection, was teasing me about you. And I said, no, no, no. Rick maintains, since it is the summer of '89 belongs to Rick Moranis, you are a star. We've got Ghostbusters 2. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is the kind of box office success the studio hadn't even planned on.
That's true, yeah.
You have Parenthood, you have your new album, and I was explaining how you...
And my fragrance. No, I'm kidding.
Is it?
Go on.
Musty? Musky. What does the Baryshnikov ad say? Since you've joked about fragrances, I love the ad that Baryshnikov does. I mean,
yeah.
you get nervous.
Oh, you think it's going to be his sweat, his dance sweat.
Well, you never know
yeah,
where
that's
it's
something
from.
you want to put on.
Musk.
Oh, du stage. You know?
That jockstrap aura.
Yeah, something
as
like
you walk
that.
through rooms.
Just take the leotard and kind of chamois your face with it.
Well, it'd certainly give you a high gloss,
Anyway, I interrupted
wouldn't it?
you.
Oh, not at all.
I interrupted. Ron Howard was teasing you about me?
No, we were talking about what you had gone through because you had arranged your schedule and your life. I can say schedule in front of you, can't I?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Without being corrected. But in the middle of all of this, you said that you were commuting between New York, Los Angeles, Orlando, and that when you were approaching the 1 million mile mark on your Advantage plan, you figured out the airline owed you a plane.
Yeah.
Which I think is good.
That was their only way out of it. Yeah. After a while, there's no ticket they can give you to compensate you.
Rick, how did you coordinate? Now, I know you did the scenes from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids early.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was done in '88, January to May of '88 in Mexico City. And I did a couple of months. The adults worked for a couple of months, and then they kept the kids there to do all the blue screen. And because they had so many opticals and special effects to do, it took a year to put together. They missed last Christmas, and they waited for the summer. Ghostbusters, of course, was aiming for this summer. And then my part was small enough in Ghostbusters that Ron was able to work out with Ivan Reitman that I could commute between places. And I think this thing was supposed to have originally come out in the fall, and it got moved up. So it's a little embarrassing that I'm in 3 movies right now, but I have this feeling...
Embarrassing? You're a star.
I have this feeling I'm not going to work for 5 years now. I won't get a job.
You're going to tour with the album. How many cities have you been in with your album?
No, just one. I just went to Toronto. It's only been released in Canada, the album. Sid Kessler's trying to leverage a better deal in the States based on the performance of it up there. We'll see what happens.
When did you get the script for Parenthood? Where were you? Were you doing Ghostbusters?
No,
what was the thing about meeting Ron Howard?
Well, what happened was I have an office at the MGM building here in Manhattan. And I walked in one day and there were lights, cameras everywhere. And I said, what's going on? They said, oh, Ron Howard's publicizing Willow. Now, a long time ago on SCTV, I had done a sketch where I played Merv Griffin doing the Andy Griffith Show. And Eugene Levy was Floyd the Barber and John was Otis, the drunk. And it was a wonderful sketch that we did out in Edmonton. And I'd heard that Ron loved it and got a copy of it because Eugene, when he did Splash, called me and said, I got to tell you, Ron Howard loved that sketch. So there was Ron in the next office, and I knew he was doing interview after interview, and I wrote a note and I said, I'd love to talk to you about the Andy Griffith sketch that I did. I'm in the next office. If you get a break, come in. So there was a knock on my door about 2 hours later, and it was Ron, and he was all sweaty from doing all these interviews. I said, sit down. We chatted for about 20 minutes. Then I got a call about 5 weeks later, and he said, I got this movie, and I'd like you to play that guy you were in the office yourself. Play that guy. You know, he wanted me to do it, and he sent me the script, and I loved the script. And then I called Ivan Reitman and said, can I do this thing? And they worked it out. They worked the schedule out.
Rick, is there a community of Canadians who are enjoying this extraordinary and well-deserved success? I spoke to Andrea Martin the other day, and you know her work for Aaron Russo and Rude Awakening. And I've spoken to John Candy recently. One is very aware of what Marty Short is doing, what Catherine O'Hara turns down, where John Candy is.
I think she's working now. Somebody told me she started a film just recently.
She should be. She should work constantly. Do you get together? When did you last see that group, or when do you see any of them?
Well, Eugene lives in Toronto. I live in Manhattan, and everybody else lives in Los Angeles. So I'm really not part of whatever community might exist, because I'm just never in Los Angeles and I don't see them. I speak to Dave frequently. I speak to Marty from time to time. John I bump into for a day on Spaceballs and a day on Little Shop of Horrors. I speak to Dick Blasucci, and Flaherty's in his office and he jumps on the phone. I keep in contact with everybody, but I don't see them because I don't live in Los Angeles, and I also don't see them professionally because everybody's doing all different things. Andrea came through town, she called. Didn't get a chance to see her because we were on our way out to East Hampton for the summer, and she was in to do the Letterman show. So it's by phone that I keep in contact with everybody.
I think it's extraordinary that you've had this success this summer, and that all of this has happened to you and around you, because I had the feeling for years that you and Eugene Levy would be the two in front of the camera performers whose greatest satisfaction would come out of writing, directing. And while Eugene seems to be concentrating in that area because he's happier with it, you seem to have blossomed in front of the camera. Was there a time when you might have concentrated more on writing? And it's changed?
There are a couple of answers to that question. I've been asked to direct a number of times in the last couple of years, fairly big studio comedies, and I've said no to them primarily because I want to spend time with my family. And acting not only is very lucrative for me right now, but it's only X number of weeks in a year, really. And the rest of the time I can spend in New York and not be away from my family. I think when my kids are a little older, I may direct. I also have had the great opportunity to work with people like Ron Howard and Frank Oz and Ivan again. And these are all people I'll be stealing from when I actually do direct. I haven't had the time to do the writing, nor do I really, for that matter, enjoy sitting in front of a typewriter alone. The collaboration we did on SCTV was wonderful. The collaboration we do on the sets of these movies is challenging. To work with Steve Martin is a joy. The level of writing that I'm at for the screen is not where I want to be, though I feel that I may have mastered the 2-minute late-night comedy television parody sketch. I'm far from where I want to be with screenwriting, so I think I have a long way to go.
Rick, it sounds to me like Parenthood and the theme of Parenthood and what this movie means has really gotten through to you, and that your priorities really
I don't know if the film got through to me or if I was like that before the film, but...
maybe you were and you just got nudged a bit about priorities.
Family
first.
I just consider myself lucky the way that time has worked out for me, because I don't think I could do SCTV today. I couldn't and maintain a family life. I don't know how those people did it, because we were working 18 hours a day. I was spending more time with Dave Thomas than Pam was. He'd work with me from 6 in the morning till midnight, and then he'd go home and sleep with her.
No fidelity. It's good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Congratulations on
Thanks,
Parenthood.
thanks.
And your record. And everything else.
Thanks.
Rick Moranis. Thank you.
Stop tape, please.